it sounds crazy to say, but at this point in time, Captain Marvel is just about 2 weeks away from release. Every single day, we learn more about this cosmic superhero, and the most powerful character apparently we've ever seen in the MCU. Welcome back to another video, guys, and today it's all about Captain Marvel, including some spoilers that recently dropped for the film. First though, let's talk about some non-spoiler news for Captain Marvel, and this is very brief information. Of course, we all know that there will be an end credit scene in Captain Marvel, but today we got official confirmation that there's not one, but 2 end credit scenes for the film. As far as the content of these 2 end credit scenes, that's still currently a mystery, but I'll be sure to keep you guys up to date if any information comes out. Other than that though, the rest of the information in this video will be spoiler heavy, so spoiler warning. Let's go ahead and dive in. One final time, if you do not wish to be spoiled, click off now. We're getting a lot of this information from a Captain Marvel tie-in book, which reveals major plot points about the movie. Apparently none of the major plot twists are spoiled, but we do get little pieces of information that set up exactly why Carol believes that she's a Kree, as well as how the character believes that she has her powers, not how she actually does. Let's go ahead and dive into everything that we learn. As we start off the film, Carol Danvers is simply known as Vers, and is of course a Kree warrior. As we first encounter Captain Marvel, she only has memories pertaining to the last 6 years. The Kree have apparently told her that she lost her memories as a result of a Skrull attack, and in those 6 years, she's been serving Star Force and the Kree Empire as Captain Marvel, of course known as Vers. What she did before those 6 years is a complete mystery, but of course as Marvel fans, we know that she was Carol Danvers in her previous life, and was human. The next piece of information that we get reveals possibly the main antagonist of the movie, besides Talos, the Skrull played by Ben Mendelsohn, who according to earlier reviews is the highlight of the movie, besides Goose the Cat. Anyway, it's revealed that Star Force gets its missions from the Supreme Intelligence, which we'll talk about a little bit later. However, it reveals that Carol Danvers does in fact believe that she is Kree and not human, as quote, the homeworld of the Kree, Hala, is home to millions of Kree, a race of blue, brown, or beige-skinned people. This explaining why of course Carol Danvers believes that she is in fact a Kree despite not being blue. The next piece of information that we get is confirmation that Jude Law is in fact playing Yon-Rogg. Yon-Rogg being a Captain Marvel villain from the comic books that formed a rivalry with the original Captain Marvel, that character known as Mar-Vell, and someone who is separate from Carol Danvers. In the comics though, Yon-Rogg eventually grows to hate Carol Danvers for her powers. Based on the information though, within the movie, Yon-Rogg is sort of a mentor to Carol Danvers, and is also famous on the Kree homeworld as a warrior. Yon-Rogg is also the leader of Star Force. Next up, we learn at least the Kree's explanation for why Carol Danvers, or Vers, is so powerful. Apparently, Carol Danvers believes that her powers comes from what is called a photon battery, a small device that is implanted under her left ear, and supposedly a gift from the Supreme Intelligence, the leader of the Kree Empire. However, this is simply the Kree's explanation for Carol Danvers, and it is most likely not the true source of her powers. As a side theory, I actually believe that Carol Danvers draws her powers from the quantum realm, but the Kree tell her that it's because of the Supreme Intelligence, and a gift to her, which is why she's the only one with this type of power. Over the course of the movie though, I think that Captain Marvel will truly experience her power, and come to realize that she's far more powerful than even the Supreme Intelligence believes her to be, thus making true the claims that she's the most powerful Marvel character that we've ever seen to this date. The next information is about the villains of the movie, the Skrull. As we learn a little bit more about their powers of shape-shifting and imitating others, we learned that a Skrull is capable of imitating someone just by looking at them, and that this is something that they call being simmed. Something else that we learned though is that not only do the Skrulls look like them, but that they also gained their more recent memories. The Skrulls actually copy the genetic markers and DNA of recent memories of their target, of course making them even more difficult to spot. Finally, we learn more about another potential villain of Captain Marvel, known as Minerva. Minerva being a main antagonist of Carol Danvers in the comic books. Apparently in the Captain Marvel movie, Minerva was Yon-Rogg's favorite before Carol Danvers arrived, and Yon-Rogg kind of replaced her with Carol. Thus, Minerva hates Carol Danvers, and wants to prove that she's superior to her, thus leading way into her eventually becoming a villain of the movie, along with possibly Yon-Rogg and the Supreme Intelligence. Now, I'd like to talk about potentially the main villain of the movie, the Supreme Intelligence of the Kree Empire. The Supreme Intelligence seems to be more of a program for the Kree than an actual individual, something that we'll learn in Captain Marvel. In Captain Marvel, the Supreme Intelligence appears to Captain Marvel in the form of her mother, her. However, Carol Danvers doesn't realize this just yet, as the Supreme Intelligence analyzes someone's subconscious and then becomes what they perceive it to be. Thus, why the Supreme Intelligence appears to be human in all of the trailers. But moving on from this, in the book, Carol Danvers actually has an interaction with the Guardians of the Galaxy character that we haven't seen for some time now. Carol actually meets Raman Day, who was played by John C. Reilly in the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie. It's currently unknown though if he'll have an actual role in the film or just this book. And finally, the last piece of information that we have about Captain Marvel, and the last spoiler, is something about the team's suits, including Carol Danvers' suit. Apparently, the Star Force suits can actually change color, thus revealing how Carol eventually changes her color in the second act of the movie to the more comic book accurate Captain Marvel suit. According to the book though, it quotes, "Touching our forearm consoles, we all changed our traditional uniform colors to a camouflage pattern, a pattern that blended perfectly with the current surrounding." This of course not being a major spoiler, but proving exactly how Carol Danvers changes her suit. But those were all of the spoilers that we learned about Captain Marvel, the biggest one of course pertaining to the Supreme Intelligence. Again, there weren't any major spoilers, but little plot points to establish the Captain Marvel movie. So let me know in the comments below, what is your favorite piece of new information that we learned about Captain Marvel? And are you excited to see the movie in just over 2 weeks from now? Again, my friends, do not forget to enter to win the subscribe to join our team, and have a great day.